So everyone, again, we're going to get into our main topic right now. And if you're just tuning in, thank you so much for participating on today's call, the Senior Solutions webinar. What we're going to be talking about today is the title is Massive Action Equals Massive Results. And we got a great lineup of some great guest speakers that are going to be talking about how massive action has absolutely influenced their business, and really, what does massive action mean? The only thing that's really missing from this, and I totally agree with this statement, is that if you look at any great thing that has ever been accomplished in life, okay, whether it be personal or you look at different, businesses or athletes that have achieved greatness, it's because they took massive action towards their goals. The only word that's missing from this is consistent. You can be great, you can have a great week by taking massive action. You can order a bunch of, a bunch of leads, and you can take a lot of action, and you can be a superstar for 1 week. Okay, anybody can do that. But if you really want to be consistent, or if you really want to be successful, success is something that's based over a long period of time. A band that's a one-hit wonder is not considered a successful group. That's why we call them one-hit wonders. It's easy to be a one-hit wonder and get on the national leaderboard. Ideally, what you're looking for is consistency. So it's consistent massive action equals consistent massive results. And I can just tell you, personally, and in my life, when I look back and when I have achieved some of the records that I've achieved, it's because it was because of massive action. Is having that goal and just going for it and going for it and not letting anything in your way. Being able to overcome obstacles. I've always heard this, it's not what happens to you in life, but it's how you react to it. And I think sometimes it's so easy for us to get derailed in life because there's a hurdle in our way. Man, we've got to get better at being able to jump over those hurdles, keep our focus, keep laser like focus on our goals, and put massive action on it. And if you guys are, if you're on this call, if you want to get more information, if you want to do some private coaching with me, this is my direct cell phone number, 630-890-8609. I think everybody on this call should probably have it, but if you don't, that's my direct cell phone. Give me a call. Let's talk about what's going on in your life. Let's talk about how we can implement massive action to be able to get massive results in your business. And I'll tell you this, massive action, massive results, it doesn't always only apply in business. It applies in your personal life as well. Hey, if it's for me, tell them I'm busy, okay?
Hey Joe, hey Joe, we sent that to to voicemail, but I wanted to chime in if it's okay.
Yeah.
You
Of course,
talk about
anytime, Jimmy.
being consistent, and really and truly, you got to break it down. A lot of people, they have hopes, they have dreams, they have goals, and they start off. I mean, I think a lot of people can relate to this. They start off with strong intentions, right? And then something happens, and for lack of a better word, they fall off the wagon, right? And so they lose the consistency. And when it boils down to it, it comes to habits. And so I want to touch on this for a second, because this is really the key to being successful, is that you have to create good habits. See, because you can have good intentions and you can have the best motivation, but without the good habits, you're going to go back to what you used to do. And so you want to look at, how do I create good habits? And so the first thing you want to have is something in the morning, like you want to have some sort of cue that's going to get you up early and get you into your shoes and into your clothes and out the door. The earlier the better. If you have a good habit of getting out of the house early, you'll be productive. All too often what happens with insurance agents, it's not till 11, 12, or sometimes 1 o'clock in the afternoon before they actually start working. Okay. And then the other side of it is that you have to have habits so that during the course of the day, maybe it's 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and perhaps you had a bad day. I mean, maybe you got out early, but you haven't had a successful day. Then you have to have something that's going to keep you going to till you finish your day. Don't call it early and go home. So there's the thing with a habit is you have to have a cue. You have to have something that you put in place that you identify, hey, when this happens, then this is my activity, right? And then at the end, this is my reward. So you have to have all three. And starting with a good habit is starting with a schedule. But Joe, I just want to say, if you really want to be consistent, you have to develop good habits.
Absolutely, dude. I'll say this one thing and I'll move on with the rest of my content. You are what you are based on your daily activity, based on your daily habits. So point blank, you want to change your life, change what you do daily. End the story right there. Guys, moving on. The next thing I want to talk about is, this is one of my favorite phrases in the whole world. It's stop getting ready to get ready. And what does that mean? That means if you're the agent that is always getting ready to get ready, meaning it's like, well, I got my leads, but I'm not going to call them today because I need to do this and this, and or I've got leads and or I don't have leads, whatever the case may be. I hear this a lot. Oh, I got some leads in. I'm going to door knock them next Tuesday. Um, it's just like, no, stop getting ready. I need to get my folders ready. I need to do this. I need to organize my leads. I need to know the script better. Stop getting ready to get ready and just take massive action. You've got to stop. It's called procrastination, which I think procrastination is a disease sometimes. Um, Procrastination, what is, I think I actually got on the internet. Here's the somebody's definition of what procrastination is. Let me move this over. Procrastination is the avoidance of doing a task which needs to be accomplished. This can lead to feelings of guilt, inadequacies, depression, self-doubt. Absolutely, I would totally agree with that. Procrastination has a high potential for painful consequences, and it interferes with academic, personal, and I would add business life. Guys, procrastination will cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Procrastination can cause you to have to pay late fees on your bills. It can cause a lot of different things. Procrastination to me is when you put something off because of the perceived pain associated with the activity. So if you are procrastinating making your dials, if you are procrastinating going out to do your door knocks, it's because there's some type of perceived pain that is associated with that. The only cure is massive action. The only cure to procrastination is massive action. You have to go for it. You've got to get out there and do it. That's the only way to get over it. And once you get going, then it's easy to keep going. They always say with salespeople, the hardest threshold to get through is your own. It's so true, man. But just like what Jimmy said, man, have the habit and have a cue of something that gets you out of the door and out into the field. And if you're having trouble with procrastination, um, call me. We can talk about it. The other thing that you can do is if you feel like you're a chronic procrastinator, is I'm going to give you a little tip here. Jeffrey Combs, who is a motivational speaker, he's an author. He's got one of the books that he just wrote. Oh gosh, what's the name of it? It's not the one that I have on the screen. Something Breakthrough. I'm sorry, I can't. I have the book. I just can't think of the name of it right now. Um, Amazon. It's an Amazon best. Oh, here it is. It's at the top. Amazon best-selling in books. It's The Breakthrough Factor. The Breakthrough Factor, which is a great book. But what I'm going to promote is that if you are having trouble with procrastination, get this book, The Procrastination Cure. It might be available on Audible. I don't know. I have the paperback. But Jeffrey is one of the few guys that has written a book and has content specifically on procrastination. And I would highly recommend following this guy. You can follow him on Facebook, Instagram. You can Facebook. He does almost every day. I think he's doing some type of live call. He has really good content. I've done some personal coaching with him, so it's somebody I can highly recommend. I think is he's not very well known like some of the other guys like Tony Robbins, but I think his content is really excellent. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you guys some examples that everybody is familiar with. I'm going to give you at least two examples of where massive action has changed the way that we think or things that have influenced us and still influence us today. The first one is this guy right here, Thomas Edison. If you don't know that picture, um, not only the inventor of the light bulb, but I think he has uh, thousands and thousands of patents. But depending on what source you look at, many sources will say is that Thomas Edison had at least 10,000 failed attempts when creating the light bulb, and that he was absolutely obsessed with creating this invention. And that, in fact, one of the quotes he said is that he kept hiring more people to help him in his laboratory because he said he wasn't failing fast enough. He tried it was like 6 or 7 thousand different types of materials to invent the first light bulb. When he finally got it to work, it was a light bulb that lasted 1,000 hours, 1,000 hour light bulb, which is really super impressive. So just think about that. I mean, I I I know a lot of agents get discouraged when they go out on or they go out and they door knock and they didn't have success one day, or maybe they're getting shut down on the phone or whatever the case may be. Just remember, just keep taking that massive action. You know what massive action does? Here's what I'll tell you. This is my opinion, is that massive action is the great equalizer. And what do I mean by that? Is that I would rather have an agent that is just okay, maybe not a superstar, but takes massive action every single day than to have the super talented agent that's lazy. Man, I'll take the guy that takes massive action. That's what I mean by the great equalizer, having that insatiable work ethic, being willing to go after it every single day. Just remember, if you're new, there's always going to be a learning curve. The quicker you want to get through a learning curve quick, You want to take a 90-day learning curve down to 15 or 20 days? Only one way to do it, massive action. Massive action. Do more presentations than anyone else, which means you got to have people to go see. The other thing that I want to talk about, I believe it was the Apollo 11, but the Apollo mission to the moon. Now, depending on what you read or your sources, I don't know how accurate this is, but I found it on Google, so you know how reliable that is. But on Google, I found a report that it is estimated that on the Apollo mission to send a man to the moon, that it was 4.5 billion what we call man hours, people working in conjunction on that project. And I started to do the math on that a little bit, and I don't know what time period this was over. I mean, 4.5 billion. I mean, they worked on this for obviously a couple of years, but America was absolutely obsessed with sending a man to the moon. Why? Because remember, the Russians beat us to space. We were working on it. We were working on our program to go to space, send a man to outer space to orbit the Earth, or just to outer space, I should say. I think we were the first ones to orbit the Earth, but the Russians beat us. They got there first. So America was absolutely obsessed with sending a man to the mission. What did they do? They took massive action. And what happened? They got massive results. I just ran some numbers. Just put this into perspective. If you had a team of 10,000 people, which is a lot, if you had a team of 10,000 workers working 20 hours a day, guys, that's 200,000 hours a day, which means in a week, that would be 1.4 million hours a week. It would still take 61 and a half years to equal 4.5 billion hours. So I don't know how they did it. I don't know where they came up with this number, 4.5 billion. But here's what I can tell you. There were probably tens of thousands of people working on the Apollo mission around the clock until they got it done. Now that, my friends, that is massive action. That's being obsessed. If you guys, I don't know if you read or you know who Grant Cardone is, but Grant is always talking about be obsessed. Is that it's okay to be obsessed. It's the unsuccessful people that are not obsessed. Whatever you want to be successful at, if you want to be the best final expense agent out there, take massive action and be obsessed. I can just look back personally, like in my own career. When I've had big breakthroughs, it's always been because of massive action. The best month I've ever had since I've started this company, I don't have the dates in front of me, but I think it was 2014, I want to say. Issue paid 27,000 in issue paid business of all 100%. I think it was all final expense. There may have been a few term products in there, but 27,000 issue paid premium. How did I do it? Massive action. Just taking massive action. I have agents all the time ask me, Joe, how did you grow your agency so big? Guys, do you know that we probably do about 3,000 interviews a year? That's massive action. There's no secret, it's just massive action. My agency is the size that it is because I've just talked to a lot of people. That's it. And here's the thing, when you talk to a lot of people, you get really good. When you are a full-time producer, how do you get really good at it? You make a lot of presentations. That's how you get really good at it. You do that through massive action. And I believe we're going to get our superstar agent, Candy Cardona, on. Candy, are you still there?
Yes, I am, Joe.
Hey, Candy. Oh, by the way, Candy is coming off of a $6,000 week. What was it, like a week or two ago? I know you were on the national leaderboard. So congratulations to your success. You're doing a great job. You've got consistent leads coming in. I don't want to steal your thunder, but guys, let me turn the mic over to you, Candy, and guys, let me allow you to introduce to you my good friend, Candy Cardona. Candy, the mic is yours.
Well, thank you so much for having me on the call, Joe. I really appreciate it. And
Very
it's a
welcome.
good
Very
topic
welcome.
today. Thank you. And it's a good topic today with massive action because I've been with Joe for 3 years now, over 3 years now. And I did have success a couple weeks ago and made $6,000, and it was really awesome. But I noticed that the more I apply myself and the less time I take thinking about it, the more I do. So you have to, first of all, I start out with the daily activity tracker. I think everyone should be using it. I didn't use it, and I was wondering why I wasn't making sales and what was I doing wrong? And I realized that when you're not accountable for your own actions and you're not writing them down, you're not making the money that you could potentially be making because you're not aware of what you're really doing. When you use the daily activity tracker, you can go back to that and say, wow, I've done this many appointments, I've done this many door knocks, I've done this many scripts at the door. And I think it helps you so much be realistic to yourself. And that's who we got to be realistic to, is ourselves, because it's our money at the end of the day that we're making. So I was very excited when I started back using the daily activity tracker because I was able to see my numbers and see what I was really doing and know where to bump up to do more, whether it's door knocks, more dials, more whatever. So I was excited. I'm excited using the daily activity tracker. And you've got to go out there with the mindset. I don't work every day a week. I have 2 grandchildren who I'm loving, enjoying being with, and they're out for the summer vacation. So I work 4 days a week. And I always try to work Saturdays because Saturdays, the people are home that are not home during the week. So whether it's door knocking or doing appointments, I try to do that on a Saturday as well. So I plan my 4 days out. I'm in bed by 8:30. I have my applications pre-filled out. I don't go to a client's house unless my applications are in my bag pre-filled out. So that way when I get back to my office to fill out that application, I have less work to do. And then I'm not fumbling, where do they sign? I know where they sign. I've been doing this for 3 years for Joe and 11 years in the business, but it makes it so much easier, the process, when there's a little X where they have to sign, and it makes it go by faster. The appointment, I'm saying. So I work the 4 days and I work it hard. I get out of my house by 8:30 in the morning, and I want to be by my first door knock by 9. The earlier you get to the door knocks, you find people are still at home. They haven't left for work yet, or maybe they just aren't working. And they get Social Security, who knows. But I find that the earlier I get out, the more people I see. I stay out there all day and door knock if I don't have appointments already preset. And then I go back around to see if anybody's pulled off my door knock sticky so I can go back out to their house because
Hmm.
I know they're home now, you know. But
Explain how
my
you,
biggest problem,
Andy, explain that. Like for those that don't, two things I want you to talk about. One is the door tag. So tell us how you utilize those door tags real quick.
oh, absolutely. Well, when I knock at their door, and I knock and knock and knock, and you have to be patient, guys. People don't answer their door right away. And I didn't realize that until somebody rang my doorbell. And if I'm on the other side of the house, I don't hear it. So you got to be patient when you're knocking on the door. Don't just knock on the door and say, "Oh, they're not home. Let me stick up a sticky note and leave." You have to spend a couple minutes waiting for them to get to the door. So that's one tip that's really important. And then two, if they're not home, then I leave the sticky note. And on the sticky note, I put second attempt. I don't put final attempt because I still want to get to them and I don't want to think all their chances are blown.
Okay.
And I'm right by my phone and right by my leads when they call me back so I can fumble through my leads to find the right person that is calling me back. A lot of times, sometimes these people don't have phone numbers on there. So you've got to answer your phone because you don't know who's going to be calling you. And so that way you can book your appointment once they call you back. If you can't get back over there the same day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
So I stay out all day and door knock. I go back around. I try to find homes that the sticky notes are gone and try to re-door knock. But then I come home and I start doing my dials. And I have to do massive dials because I'm only working 4 days a week. And I want to fit as many people in as I can possibly fit in to book appointments. And so I come home and I do my dials and I use my activity tracker because it really helps you get out of. There was a time, Joe, that I thought I was doing a lot of work and I called you up and I said, "I'm not making the kind of money that I should be making." And you're like, "Are you using the daily activity tracker?" And I said, "No, but I'll start." And I started using it and it made a world of difference.
Candy, could
So
you do me a
anyways, I
favor?
booked my.
Candy, just
Yes,
not everybody on the call, and we probably, you know what? Shame on me. We don't talk about it enough. But for those that don't know, can you just tell everybody what the activity tracker is, and then what exactly are you tracking on that piece of paper?
absolutely. The
Okay.
daily activity tracker you can get off Joe's website, and it has the dates down there, it has the days down there, it has how many dials that you've done, how many scripts that you have read to the clients, how many appointments that you have booked from those dials. It also has how many door knocks. You put a tally when you do a door knock. It has how many scripts you have read at the door knocks. It has how many appointments that you have set from the door knocks. And then it has how many sits that you have set and how many applications you have received and the average premium that you're making. Then there's referrals and safe money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a phenomenal, really, Joe, you did good when you made this because it really helps you be accountable to yourself.
Right.
It really does. And like I was saying, there was a time that I thought I was working hard, but I wasn't working hard because I wasn't tracking my activity to realize that I wasn't doing half as good as I could be doing if I just tracked it.
Right. I think it's easy to fool yourself. Like, I know I have
It
fallen out of
is
the
easy.
habit, right, of not tracking my numbers. And then you look back and you say, and then it comes back to our whole topic about massive action. It's like, well, no wonder I didn't make any money. I only made 50 phone calls and did, you know, 13 door knocks. I mean, can't make money like that,
Right.
you know?
And another thing is, I have 2 counties that I get leads from. So it's kind of hard when you have 2 counties because these counties are very big.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to go out there, and whether it's a half hour to your next door knock or not, you still have to go to that door knock. Because I'm telling you, I make a lot of my money off of door knocks. Because then they can see your face, they can see your badge. By the way, you have to get your badge if you don't have your badge. And they can see that you're a licensed field underwriter by the state of whatever state you're in. And I tell them that's what I am, as a licensed field underwriter by the state of Illinois. And I'm here because you sent this card into our company and it was so important to you, and you forgot to put your phone number down. So we're required to come out to the home. And they're like, I said, it takes about 10 minutes for me to go over the plans available to you. Do you have 10 minutes? And most people say yes. And that's how I get in the door. But
Perfect.
when you
That's
call them
awesome.
on the phone, yeah. But when you call them on the phone, they may say, well, I already have insurance, or I sent the card in 2 months ago when you just got it. Door knocking is so much more successful, I feel, because they see your face. They're not intimidated by some blind person calling them over the phone. But I still do dials, don't misunderstand me, and still book appointments
Yeah,
and get in
I agree with
homes.
you. I think you got
But
to do a little bit of both. Like, everybody knows I'm a huge door knock component. I'm all about door knocking, door knocking, door knocking, door knocking, door knocking. But why not use the phone? I mean, it's a great tool, and the beauty of using the phone, right, Candy, is that you can do preset appointments, and if you blow it on the phone, you can still door knock them. I mean, how many homes have you
right,
gotten in where you called them and they blew you off because they thought you were a telemarketer, and then you door knocked them and sold them? I'm sure that's happened to you before,
right.
right?
Absolutely. All the time, all the time, all the time. So you just gotta stop kidding yourself. If you're kidding yourself, you gotta get out the door and get to the first home by at least 9 o'clock, if not 8:30, if you can do that. Go to bed early. Have your bags packed the night front seat of your car. That's what I do because I don't want any excuses. Oh my gosh, now I got to put my applications together. Oh my gosh, now I don't have enough rate quotes to show them. Oh my gosh, I don't have enough flyers. No, my bag is packed and in my car on the passenger seat before I even get in the car the next morning.
Yeah,
So be
you
prepared.
are a true professional, Candy, and when I was talking about you got to stop getting ready to get ready, is that you totally
Yeah.
have embraced that. You know how easy it is for all of us when there's certain things you don't want to do. It's easy to get ready to get ready. Like,
Oh, Joe, I've done it. And I'm going to be the first one to say I've done it
yeah,
because everybody on this call has done it.
yeah,
But if you just stay focused, that's the thing. If you just stay focused, you're going to make money. If you stop getting ready to get ready. If you're pre-prepared before you walk out that door, there's no excuses to stop you to go back in your office and start fumbling with clutter. Then before you know it, you're checking your emails. Then before you know it, you're on a phone call and you forgot to go to work. And then you're wondering why you didn't make any money. You
Yeah.
have to get out that door. And if you decide a certain dates to work, just really work those days. And if they're exhausting, they're exhausting, because I'm not working a full 7 days. I'm working 4 days. And I want to be exhausted after those 4 days, knowing I put 100% of my time into this so I can make the kind of money that I want to make. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do want to get Mike. Is there anything? This has been amazing. And by the way, guys, I know Candy mentioned she's been with Senior Solutions for 3 years. We've known each other for a long time. We've known each other for 11 years, and actually, we were recruited by the same person 11 years ago. We had the same upline, and we both joined the same agency 11 years ago. And destiny, I think, brought us together for sure.
Absolutely.
So awesome. Well, Candy, thanks for being on the call and being a contributor. And you're having some amazing success. So thank you so much for participating. I want to see if Michael is on real quick.
No problem.
Candy, what's that?
Thank you so much for having me on the call. I appreciate it.
No, it's my pleasure. You're amazing. You're an inspiration, by the way, to everybody. You really are.
Thank you so much.
I know you inspire
Just
me.
stay focused, guys.
Absolutely. Let's see, Michael, you are self-muted if you are available.
I am here. Can you hear me, Joe?
I can hear you. And Jimmy, you're self-muted as well. Michael, let me turn the mic over to you.
I'm here, Joe.
Why don't you guys, I think this has been an amazing call. Why don't you guys wrap it up for us and
got
give
it.
us some good content to go home with.
Hey, rule number one, everybody, I want you to listen to this pre-recorded call, listen to Candy's section. Joe, you and I are on numerous conference calls continuously. Candy, that was one of the best instructional ways on how to be a successful filing expense agent that I have heard. So ladies and gentlemen, get your iPads out or iPods, wherever you call them out, of your phones, and listen to what Candy said over and over again. That was phenomenal. So I don't have a lot to say, Joe, because it's already been said, but I do want to sort of wrap it up with taking massive action. Again, following up on what Candy said, number one, when I got into the recruiting realm here in the filing expense industry, I'm actually in the mortgage industry where I started recruiting, my mentor asked me, Michael, are you in it to win it? Because if you're not in it to win it, don't even begin. And as our Star Wars fans will tell you, the Yoda's thinks that there is no try, there is only do. Massive action starts with you asking that question or answering that question very affirmatively. Are you in it to win it? Don't even get into the final expense arena if you're not in it to win it. Number two, expect obstacles, expect setbacks. They are going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. We're in life. As my pastor always said, you're either in a storm, coming out of a storm, or heading towards a storm. So expect the setbacks, etc. But number three, remember what helps you take massive action. What drives you forward? Well, that is your why. Everybody has a different why. My number one why is my family. I've got a beautiful wife, 4 kids. I got 2 grandkids now. They're my why. They drive me. They cause me to take massive action. That's my why. So when I've got a goal of recruiting 3 people a day, and maybe I've recruited nobody, and it's 5 o'clock, and I'm ready to quit. I'm frustrated. That pushes me forward one more step. And ladies and gentlemen, those of you who have been in this industry a long time, and I know Jimmy and Joe will definitely agree to this, how many agents, Joe and Jimmy, have we spoken to that at 5 o'clock at night, they've had a horrible day? They've totally failed, no door knocks, they couldn't give this stuff away, but they pushed themselves 1 more appointment, 2 more appointments, and they hit the big one. They hit the $1,500 premium, the $2,000. They find that annuity, etc. Because they were committed to massive action when everybody else, we'll call it quit, they kept pushing forward and they made it happen. I'll sort of leave with this right here, and Jimmy, I'll turn it over to you. There's no secret to success. It's about massive action. People who succeed are just willing to do what other people aren't willing to do, and it is they're willing to take massive action. So number one, ask yourself, are you in it to win it? Number two, expect the obstacles and the setbacks. They're going to come, ladies and gentlemen. Every successful person is going to tell you you're going to have setbacks. And number three, know that your anchor is your why. What causes passion, what causes massive action is that you're firmly connected to your anchor, to your why. Why are you doing this? So with that, Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Let's see, Jimmy is self-muted. Let's see if he may be transitioning. Jimmy, you are self-muted. If you can hop on, that's great. If not, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up because we are about right there. So guys, everyone, thank you for participating on today's call. And again, I like what you said, Michael. Are you in it to win it? Man, you got to be in it to win it. Guys, take massive action. Take massive action in your life, not just in business, but in with your relationship with your wife, with your children. You want a better relationship with your children? You want a great relationship with your wife? Take massive action towards what it is that you want. Be obsessed with having those things. I'll leave you with this. One thing for sure is that what you focus on will come true, or what you focus on, you will receive. So you want to do better in business. You want to have more final expense success, man. I'm telling you, focus like a laser beam. Get all the distractions out of your life, and you will have success for sure. With that, Jimmy, I don't know if you came back on. I think I know he's driving to Dallas. I think he might have lost his connection. But God bless everybody. Thank you so much for being on the call, and we will talk to you soon. Take care. Michael, Candy, I know you guys are on. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Candy. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Jimmy. Bye-bye.
Bye, man. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, Candy. Bye-bye.